You are working your shift at an M&D Healthcare residential facility when a client walks up, hands you a handmade sweater, and asks you to follow their Instagram account. In a transitional facility, you live and work in close proximity to clients. You share meals, common spaces, and daily routines over weeks and months. That closeness supports recovery, but it also creates the exact conditions where professional limits blur. Today, we will walk through exactly how to handle social media requests, secret sharing, and gift giving with warmth and confidence. Learning these specific responses aligns your daily work with California licensing standards and sets the necessary limits for a professional caregiving relationship. Think of a professional boundary as a guardrail, not a wall. Boundaries do not prevent connection. They enable safe relationships and keep your interactions on the therapeutic road. We can measure your approach on this boundary continuum. If your approach is too rigid, meaning you are cold, distant, and task-focused, clients will disengage and lose trust in the process. On the other end, being too enmeshed carries severe risk. This looks like playing favorites, oversharing personal details, and treating clients like friends. This state opens the door to dependency and exploitation. Your target is the healthy middle. Here, you are genuinely warm and empathetic, but you maintain the exact same professional limits with all clients. Consistently hitting this middle ground protects client dignity and creates the predictable environment necessary for real recovery. Major boundary violations rarely happen overnight. They develop through small, seemingly harmless concessions that feel reasonable in the moment. This staircase illustrates the slippery slope of boundary erosion. It starts with giving a client special attention. Next, you make small rule exceptions, like letting them stay up past curfew. From there, you begin mutual personal disclosure, sharing your own frustrations or relationship problems with the client. That descent leads directly to secrecy. This is the most dangerous red flag, the moment you decide to hide an interaction from your coworkers or clinical team because they wouldn't understand. You can audit your own actions using the secrecy test. Ask yourself, would I want my supervisor to know about this? If the answer is no, you have already crossed a boundary. Healthy professional relationships happen in daylight. Recognizing your own urge to keep an interaction hidden is your most reliable early warning system against exploitation. Clients depend on staff for housing, daily meals, medication support, and documentation that affects their future. This creates an inherent power imbalance in the relationship. Because of this heavy imbalance, a client's yes is an entirely free choice. A client cannot consent their way out of your professional obligations. The burden of maintaining the boundary is always yours, even if the client initiates the crossing. This power dynamic dictates our financial absolutes. You must never handle client money, borrow funds, or exchange gifts of any value whatsoever. Digitally, the rules are equally absolute. You must never connect with clients on social media or share your personal phone number, even after the client is discharged. We also strictly prohibit dual relationships. A dual relationship is any connection, social, romantic, business, or a pre-existing friendship, that exists outside your professional caregiving role. If a dual relationship arises, do not try to manage it alone. Disclose it immediately to your clinical director and request a reassignment so you are not directly responsible for that client's care. Strictly observing these absolute rules removes ambiguity. It ensures the power dynamic is never accidentally weaponized against a dependent adult. Clients will inevitably test these limits due to past relational trauma, loneliness, or confusion. Your response must be consistent, compassionate, and firm. Imagine a client on a night shift tries to share highly personal information, but asks you to promise you won't tell anyone else. Refuse the promise of secrecy warmly. You can say, "I appreciate you trusting me, but I have to be transparent. Our team works together to support you, so I will share safety-related things to ensure you get the best care." Next, imagine a client expresses inappropriate romantic feelings, claims you are the only one who understands them, and tries to hand you a gift. Do not reciprocate or mock the client. Warmly decline the gift by citing facility policy. Redirect the client by saying, "This would be valuable to explore with your therapist," and then report the incident to your supervisor. Utilizing these practiced pivots helps you manage the immediate pressure of the interaction while keeping the focus on the client's recovery goals. You now have the practical tools to navigate these situations. You can aim for the healthy middle on the continuum, run the secrecy test on your own actions, and execute warm redirections when tested. While boundary violations can lead to license revocation and facility citations, the heaviest cost is paid by the client. A broken boundary can re-traumatize a vulnerable person, leading to severe setbacks in their recovery. Ultimately, professional boundaries provide the necessary stability that Amend Healthcare needs to remain a predictable, safe, and healing environment for everyone.